What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I gotta say thank God for another day and another opportunity. And as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, today I got a very special rare build in store for y'all. Now, I'm gonna be calling this one the DRAY Magic build, but it's gonna come out to a paint protector. Now, out of all NBA players, this one's gonna be exactly like Draymond Green. And what's really special about this one is that when it comes to our attributes, we'll get a 99 plus put towards our steal and block. Now, this is absolutely one of the best defensive builds that you can make. Very versatile on the offensive end, especially coming with a rare build name. Now, this build, I'm telling y'all, you're going to be able to play exactly like Draymond Green, and the defense is nearly unstoppable. Now, one of my favorite things is going to be that the three-pointer nearly is going to be able to be into the 90s. Now, as far as for being a ball handler, this build is very solid, and the physicals are definitely a strong point of today's build. Now, before we get any further, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. So the first thing that you want to do to get started is put this build under the power forward position. Let's go with the height of 6'8" with the weight of 240. Now the wingspan, I'm going to put this to 7'6", and from here, we are all set to move forward. Now the first area that I'm going to get started with is going to be the physicals. So as for the speed, let's go with a 75. Getting into the acceleration, I'm going to go with a 71. As for the strength, I'm going to go with an 84. And then getting into that vertical, I decided to go with an 80. Now getting into the stamina, I'm going to go with a 92. And right here, we're all set to move forward to the rest into the build. And as for the first area, let's get started with that interior defense. So this here, I think 74 is more than enough for any type of build. As for the perimeter defense, let's go ahead and put this to a 76. Getting into our steal, go with a 91. And then once we get into the block, I decided to put this all the way up to an 87. Now, if you want to, feel free to make your own changes and adjustments to your own playstyle. Getting into the offensive rebound, I'm going to go with a 74. And then for the defensive, go with a 77. Now, as for attributes, this is what we're going to be looking like. And yes, that 99 plus will be applied once you buy boost and activate your takeover. So from here, let's get started with the shooting. On the mid-range shot, I'm going to go with a 61. Getting into that mid-range shot, let's go ahead and put this all the way up to a 76. Now you should buy boost on this build as well as consider activating your takeover. And then for the free throw, I'm going to go with an 80. Now this is more than enough to take this build into the rec and find success with. From here, let's go ahead and get into the playmaking. So for that pass accuracy, I think Draymond is a great passer, so you gotta go with a 75 at minimum. As for the ball handle, I'm gonna go with a 76. And then for the speed with ball, I decided to put this all the way up to a 72. Now I think this is pretty solid for this kind of build. It's gonna allow us to unlock more of the upgraded playmaking packages. So from here, let's go ahead and wrap everything up with the finishing. As for when it comes to our standing dunk, I'm going to go with a 73. As we get into the driving, you can go ahead and put this to the same exact thing. And then as for the driving layup, I'm going to go with a 74. Now this is what the build is going to be looking like maxed out at 99 overall. And some of my favorite badges are going to be Fearless Finisher. We're also able to get Fast Twitch and Pro Touch, Giant Slayer, and then even when it comes to the rest of the other badges for the driving layup, you get Gold 2-Step as well as Spin Cycle and Float Game and Scooper on the silver tier. As for the driving dunk, I'm pretty happy with Posterizer and Slithery. We'll also be able to acquire Precision Dunker and Silver Aerial Wizard. Then for the standing dunk, I do like Rise Up as well as pairing it up with the rest of these three badges. Getting into the actual shooting, some of my favorite badges from here are going to be blinders. You also get bronze space crater and silver open looks. Now getting into the actual 3-pointer, ones that I like are going to be guard up, and then from there, we're also able to get Agent 3. Catch and shoot I definitely think is going to be important, and then we get silver free points. Now as for the playmaking end, we're going to get silver break starter and dimer, silver special delivery. For the ball handle, we get bronze unpluckable, silver ankle breaker, and then bronze handles for days. Now one special badge that I like is going to be physical handles on the gold tier. We also get speed booster and killer combos, and then triple strike. As for when it comes to the speed with ball, I think this is going to be a very solid thing with this build today. And getting into the defensive end, here's where things get even better. I like silver anchor as well as at least bronze post lockdown. As for the perimeter, we get everything needed: clamps, challenger, also fast feet and 94 feet. Getting into the steal, all 3 of these badges are going to be gold, glove interceptor, and right stick ripper. And then for the block, we get gold chase down artist, steal with silver pogo stick and anchor. And then for the rebounding, I like box out beast and rebound chaser. Pretty much for this build, you have everything that allows you to play exactly like Draymond Green. A lot of talk has been going around the NBA about him today and recently, but look, I think he's definitely one of the greatest players of all time when it comes to the defensive end. Definitely brings what you want to a team, and that's why I'm bringing y'all this build, because this is exactly what's going to allow you to be effective on any team and any game mode in NBA 2K. Now from here, let's go ahead and move forward. To make sure that everybody made this build correctly, we should get these 3 different comparisons. Of course, in the middle, Draymond Green, and as y'all can see together, we have created the Dray Magic Paint Protector build in NBA 2K24 on next gen. Now I just want to say thank y'all so much for the support. More so than anything, thank God for another day and another opportunity. Now once you consider adding boosts to this build, adding your takeover, wearing gear that's going to allow you to get another boost, you have a lot of potential when it comes to these attributes. So look, before we get out of here, if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.